Your former student. I appreciate you. I thank you for being the man who you are. And I was a horrible student. It worked out. As we start getting in the circle of good feelings, bad feelings, talking as a group, there are people who lived during the time of, and there are those of us who are a generation or two after. And I just wanted to address being 44, almost 45 years old, and the horror stories that were told to us as young African Americans about what it was and why what happened. And that the things that we looked at that were far away from us happened in our town. And where we could not go, even still, 20 years past that. I live in Spry, a place near what's in Dallastown. When I was a kid, there it is. When I was a kid, age 13 or 14, maybe a little younger, I had a fear of Dallastown, a fear of Redline, and a fear of Dover, which I eventually ended up growing up in. And the year that I moved, a few years after I moved to Dover, I was still a York Country Day School student, go Greyhounds. They got a football coach there, I think it was a football or basketball coach, and all over, cover your ears if you don't like the N-word, all over the school they had spray painted, "Nigger go home." That, a few years there, I was supposed to go to a school at William Penn for performing arts. And they were trying to get me to leave Country Day to go to Dover so that they would pay for me to go for the special performing arts program. That same year. We're talking 91. Flash forward another 10 years. I was in a punk rock band. We stood out on the streets right by the Martin Memorial Library when a gentleman came to town, and skinheads were all in our street waving flags. Flash forward again. Donald Trump wins as our president. They come to York to sit in our market and talk to people about why they voted for him. This place seems to keep being a magnet for racial unrest. I thank you for everything you taught me, even when I wasn't paying attention in class.
Obviously didn't fear me,
No. But you know, the one thing that definitely was always on our lips was we didn't have, and I know you're black on the inside, but we didn't have a lot of black teachers here. And generally we learned about black culture from people who didn't look like us. It forced a lot of us to make sure that our entire lives were based on showing examples of African Americans who could do well with themselves and continue to. I thank you for everything that you've done with this, but the question I have for you is, how do we heal those of us? I still have those little tinges. How do we move forward? And you might not have the answer, but how do we move forward for what's been bred and beaten into us to be afraid of each other? How do we move forward? In York, I can't solve the problems of everywhere else. But how do we, those of us, who lives in York, raise your hand. Some of you don't, some of you live in Lancaster.
I don't have majority of the community here.
But for those of us who are here, becoming that ripple in the pond, how do we start? I know this is part of it. What do you think?
I'm encouraged by it. I think it's by identifying part of the problem and how deep the problem is. You know, that your point about that there was this trauma, and that trauma lived on. So, and on the other hand, obviously those skinheads who came to town when you were in a punk rock band, they weren't fearful of doing that. And somehow they felt, in some ways or another, I'm not saying they were welcome. They didn't think somehow or another that this was going to turn out wrongly for them. And maybe the best thing I can do as a historian is to think about what are communities that have been able to overcome that. those as models. Since I want to end it, I down deep I want to be an optimist. I used to be an optimist. And I guess as I get older, you get a little humble about that stuff. My daughter lives about a block away from the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village. So for those who know what the Stonewall Inn is, the Stonewall Inn is where essentially the gay revolution began in America. There were ghettos of gays all across America. Yet even in that ghetto of the West Village in 1969, people who were gay would feel safe going to the bar and having a drink. Eventually the police thought they had the right just to beat their heads. To a certain degree, and boy, I think it's like a roller coaster. That community burst out and had a rebellion. Police call it a riot. And it grew. Now, I think there's certain reasons why it was easier for gay and lesbians. Goes back to that personal question. There are a lot of people who might be prejudiced, who end up with a gay person in their family. And they may not talk to him for a while, or they know his friend, and it begins to change that way through those personal connections. So maybe it does start. I like to use it as a circle. We need that circle of friends to try to change things. I also think we need to change institutions, and that's the hardest thing. I think too often we see race as just someone's individually prejudice. We could wake up one day. There was a great movie once called Brother from Another Planet, and I love how many people have seen this black guy rise from outer space and he lands in Harlem, but he doesn't know black from white, and he can't understand how he's being treated. So we could end up one day where no one saw race, but the institution still perpetuated unequal treatment of people. There'd still be really major problems. And I think attempts at institutional change are also very important. So your point about not having many teachers of color is something. I think not having many policemen in New York of color is a difficult thing to achieve. The schools will say the same thing. But I think we have to remain committed to changing the institutions as well.
Unfortunately, we only have time for one more question.